Go. So I'm not sure. We will wait for Zoltan. He didn't say if he will join. I will share my screen. I'm cleaning my desktop first. Sharing desktop. Okay. And because I'm recording, that should be easy. I won't have to wait for Benedek. What about starting with I'm not sure there are much things to say about pull requests this week. I've seen one from Stanley. He's here from Stanley about the code mirror. I haven't checked. Let's check that. Let's check this new one. I've seen also one from Jeff about the warm-up module, but I answered on his Jeff. No. This one. Oh, we have one rating. 10 minutes ago, there was no rating. Source code. So this one we need to talk about. This one, let's check if there are some new stuff based on the comments. This has nothing to do with the bug. Okay, no update. So the warm-up module improvement from Jeff. So I don't know exactly what improvement he did. There is a bug number. Generate a warm-up list from a sitemap, blah 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 blah. Job queue, I agree, it's better. The warm-up status list can get very long, blah blah blah. And I made a comment, and you will have to agree or not with that. I'm waiting for feedback. I was actually thinking about removing this module completely, as it's not used by many, and a reverse proxy could do a better job. What do you guys think?
Sorry, what module is this? Oh, the warm-up module.
The warm-up.
Don't even know what module.
I think we should remove it.
The story about this module is in 2010. In 2010, so at the beginning of Orchard, we were about to release the V1, and the management was worried about the startup time. But the issue with the startup time is not actually an Orchard issue, specifically an Orchard issue. It's more an ASP.NET issue because we have to load lots of DLLs and JIT them, and this is what takes most of the time to load the Orchard. So we went with a solution to cache the pages and to asynchronously serve the pages while we are starting the web app. It's a complex code. It's registered as a HTTP module. There is also an Orchard module. The behavior is weird because there is a background task to download the pages and save it to the disk. So it doesn't even work on multi-tenancy. With multiple nodes. And also, apart from Jeff, I don't know anyone using the module because, well, Christian and Jeff. Okay. Because the restarts are not that common on the website unless you use hosters like GoDaddy, cheap hosters, where they will stop your tenant, your website, and you will restart it whenever you get a request to that. Zoltan just joined. Did you hear what we said, Zoltan?
I just joined, so I just heard. Did you hear what we said, Zoltan?
I was talking about if we want to remove the warm-up module or not.
I would suggest you remove it actually, because, well, on one hand there is the IIS feature built in, but on the other hand I'm not sure whether you can use it in limited environment.
I didn't think about this warm-up in IIS, because yes, in the meantime, IIS has added this feature. So yeah, what I was suggesting to Jeff, and he also suggested that, is he says, oh, it's to keep my cache warm. This is another solution. So what I was suggesting is use a reverse proxy, because you won't need a warm-up if you have a reverse proxy. It can do that for you. It can return a cached page and start up your website. At the same time, it could be a custom output cache storage to store it more on the long term, like a file base or even database base. It's just not using the cache invalidation time. So I don't think the warm-up is really that interesting, and so I'm talking about that because he submitted a PR to improve the warm-up. That's why I said instead of improving it, we should just remove it and find a better solution for that.
So, are we talking about pre-caching output cache objects, or?
Cool. This is what I'm suggesting. We could have a background task pre-caching some stuff, or answering some stale data from the cache, and because you know it's invalidated, in the background task you would refresh it in the cache directly. You see what I mean? This is what Varnish is able to do. When you send a request to Varnish and it has some stale data, you can configure it to still send the value of the page, and at the same time it will request on the backend your server to get the new value. So this is something which could be done as part of the cache module, or which could be done as part of Varnish if you want to use Varnish, Nginx. So this is why I think the warm-up module is, well, improving the warm-up module is almost unnecessary, because the warm-up module is unnecessary.
So basically, this could be just a background task that fires off web requests to the site itself, not like your keep alive module does actually.
Yes.
Super simple.
The warm-up has the task already, but it will save it in the file system. So we could even reuse what the warm-up has and use it in the cache or something like this. Preemptive caching.
Okay, so we are going to remove this module, remove the IIS module that's registered in webconfig, and instead put something in, put some code related to cache warmup in the cache module, right?
Asking if you agree with that.
Yeah,
I like it.
totally
It makes
agree.
things
I like
simple.
it. Yeah, you know that there is like 50 different ways of achieving the same what warmup module does, so I don't think it's just an unnecessary burden right now. It's just remove it.
So I will close the PR and explain that. Decline. I already kind of agreed on the work item, so it was just to answer the PR, and then we'll decide when to do that and how to do that. But right now it's just for triaging, so decline. You say it's not worth improving. Stanley, how do you say it in English? That's fine.
You got it right.
Good, thank you.
You could throw a smiley in there for.
No, I'm not smiling, never. Okay, and by the way, warm-up module improvements. I will close it, won't implement, but I will add a comment. Please open another work item to track improvements on preemptive caching techniques. No, I will add that to Stanley's PR. Okay, I open this one and this is the work item. Okay, declined. And I wanted also to take a quick look at Stanley's one. What? How many changes did you do? Oh, new files.
You have to add the new code mirror.
Modules code. That's not what we said.
We said we'd talk about it. I just did the first step, which was take what I had and
Okay.
replace the default flavor.
We said we will talk. I don't like to talk. Just new files. Okay. So last time we talked, it was about creating a module name. I think, if I can remember correctly, Orchard
Resources.
or orchard.admin resources. I'm not sure. Resources. That's it. Because there might be some client side that people want to use, but we call it resources. And where we will put CodeMirror first and the others.
So you want to put code mirror first in this resources module, and then
Because you have
over time we'll add everything else.
first do that, and
Okay.
then we'll move the rest piece by piece
Okay.
to see if because otherwise you will have too much on your shoulders and you won't be able to do that.
Right.
You have a job. So at least CodeMirror, because you worked on it, and this is the good first step, and then we can work on the rest. Whoever can work on the rest. I know Sipke has added lots of JavaScript files everywhere. For instance, I won't mention nProgress, which is very useful. I need to remove that too, by the way. Okay, so
That one that's right there will make a few people happy, I'm sure.
sorry,
The one that's right there in the chat will make a few people happy, I'm sure.
which one?
The one that's right above the mouse right there.
Work item and this one?
Mm-hmm.
That's a new PR?
It's one that I submitted that's sitting there that'll improve performance for quite a few people.
Removing size.
Well, it no longer removes the size, it's now lazy loaded. But if you look at the work item, it shows the difference in startup time of the media library. It's really slows down the media library in Azure if you're using blob storage.
That makes sense.
If you look at the work item,
Where is the work? Oh, this one.
you have performance numbers.
Yeah. I closed it. I don't even remember that. It was one month ago.
Yeah, that's a cool implementation in the end.
So we should take it?
Yeah, Well, Stanley, in the end, by the way, do you implemented a separate interface for media folders, and do you have an implementation with lazy loading capabilities for that?
Yep,
or
we
what
did
was
it. You and I worked on it together. You made me change it a few times.
Yeah. I remember. I
It's,
just didn't remember.
It's
about the
being
end
lazy
result.
loaded, if I remember right.
It's already pushed. Yeah, the folders are lazy loaded already now. It's in the code. No, I think
No, I don't think so.
we pull your pull request about lazy loading media folders.
No, not that I know of.
That's weird. There was or maybe I just having the tree in mind, tree view. I was almost sure it was there. Okay.
Yeah, I see now. This is a perfect implementation.
Basically, it was two things. In order to compute a folder size in Azure, it has to crawl the entire folder in Azure, which can take some time. And the other thing was that it was crawling private folders when it didn't need to, and that was
Okay,
the
so-
most
okay.
waste of time.
So it's fixing the crawling stuff. Okay. Okay.
But it literally stopped my users from complaining about the media.
We need the file count. That's it.
We actually don't display the folder size anywhere. That was why initially my decision was to remove it, but Zoltan convinced me to lazy load it instead through an interface.
Okay. Well, it's a one dot exchange. Is it breaking?
It could be a 1.8 change. It's not breaking anything.
It's not breaking anything.
It's breaking in a way because there's an interface change. So the interface doesn't use the media folder class directly, but there's a iMedia folder interface now instead. But is compatible, by the way. I mean, compatible by the getters.
That is breaking. He is correct.
I will put it on one dot x.
It's technically it's breaking. I doubt there would be anyone affected, but it's really not 1.8 attacks.
There is no way to break someone's code. It's yeah. So that's fine. Okay. If it's better performance, let's do it on 1.8x. Okay, good. 1.8x. Okay. Targeted. So I should put it on the weblogs ASP.NET then. This also. So this one is good. Let's do some bug triage. Or do you want to see some other PRs?
I have a bug that is super simple to fix. I think I have a fix for that. I just need some confirmation on that. I pasted a link into the chat window. So please let's take a look at that as well.
Where is it?
In the chat window.
Dude, I'm working on it.
What? Then add this fix. And is this the fix for this issue, or this is something?
I'm working on that. I'm trying. Like it's taking the type and not the alternates, and because I know why. Okay, what do you say? I say currently you can't create an. I agree. This is exactly what I'm fixing right now.
You see, timing.
But so there are two issues actually. Let me explain. But you also, so let me explain the people. So the issue that you are mentioning is if using a template you try, for instance, and it's funny, you want to override the content dash page stuff content dash page dot detail. The issue is that here when it's called, it will check if the templates, the processor, the templates that you have are the same of the type. But the type here is content, because this is a type. What is content-page.detail is an alternate, so it will never find it. Okay, why it's not asking to render this instead? Because the shape type is actually content, but this is an alternate, and this will be called with content page detail only if we had bindings declared for each of that, for each of the templates into the shape table bindings. But this is not the case for technical reasons. And so I was like, okay, let's iterate through the alternates first to see if there is an alternate matching that, and then we can use this alternate. But the issue is that was also that this module was not referencing Orchard Core, which is declaring the alternates for the content. So the alternates here is actually empty. So the first fix to do is to reference Orchard Core, so we have access to the alternates, actually for this specific alternate, actually, and yep, and then we can iterate through the alternates. And I know what you did. What are you doing? Displaying. So this is the code here.
It's just going through the alternate, probing them, and lastly it probes for the shape type.
So there can be an issue about performance, because for each, yeah, it will look up for the alternates every time we have a template. Another solution, but requires a core change, is to have an event. Let me show you where. Here. So let me show the code. This is where we say render something, render a shape. And the render shape will first try to look for the correct alternate. Where is this? Try get descriptor binding. So it will look at all the available templates, okay, and look for the correct template and correct alternate to execute. So this is a try get descriptor binding. But this one won't look into our templates. So what we could do is add an event which will say, hey, do you have a custom descriptor binding to provide or to resolve dynamically? And then we could say, yes, I have one. This is this one. And
would that be some sort of method on a shape table provider?
no, so the initially when you made the module SIPK, you use the shape table provider because this is how it should be done. But the shape table provider is created at startup and done.
Right.
And we create them dynamically. So it will be good. It was working in your case because you didn't see that it wasn't working because you were like, okay, I create a template and I start Orchard. It was working. But if you were to update a template or create a new one dynamically, it will not work. It will not work. That's why I changed to a display event.
Couldn't we actually use a shape table provider but just lazy resolving the whatever we made?
Same issue. If you no, because the shape table provider will render a list and it's called only once.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you create or change or add templates at runtime after
will be
Orchard
called again.
started, it won't be called again. That's
Because asking for all the shape bindings is very slow because it has to go over all the file system, all database. You have database provider, so everywhere.
so you would add an extra method on the shape display events
I will
interface.
add an event, yes, and a shape display event or a specific descriptor binding provider and not shape table provider. These are these two different things. The shape table can create bindings, but another event could say, do you have one? Or can you resolve it for me?
Sure. So why not you reuse iDisplay events?
Yeah, why not? And maybe I have to check. But this is a solution instead of having to, like Zoltan is suggesting, and I also wanted to do that. It will not be a breaking change actually. There is no core change with the Zoltan solution. But in terms of performance, we will have to check all the alternates of all the shapes for all the templates every time. With the descriptor binding, we just say, do you have something for every shape? That's it. That's less.
So that makes more sense, and it's not breaking, right?
It's not breaking. It's a new feature. It's a breaking code if you need to implement. Yeah, it depends.
What you say about performance penalty, Sebastian, that's theoretically true, but remember that we are fetching items from a dictionary.
Not just about
that's great advance.
Not just about that. It's not just about the performance issue. It's about technical issue. If it's called try get descriptor binding, this one will find the best alternate. Okay. If you define another alternate, what tells Orchard that your alternate is better than what try get descriptor binding got?
Yeah, I see.
Because maybe try get descriptor binding will find a very good one, and you just proposed a worse one in some cases, but no, yours will win, even though it's not the one it should take in this context.
Well, actually, shouldn't you say that templates that are created from Orchard.templates always win?
Yes,
everyone?
They always win unless there is a more specific one. But it should be the case.
Are we sure about that?
Well, it will win on the same one for sure. If you provide the same name, yes, it will win. But if you provide content, should it win over content dash page? It should just replace content.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So that's why it should appear here somewhere. So the try get descriptor binding itself would ask for resolution, and I don't know. So I have to check that. So maybe it's not possible, and then this will be your solution. But if it's possible, I think it's probably better. In the example I just gave, the content against content dash page. But I agree with this bug. Because what I wanted to do was, I think, to override a form, a custom form. And it was not kicking in because the custom form is actually an alternate and not a direct shape type. And then I saw the limits. So yep, 1.8x depending on the impact on the code. Okay, but I'm working on that right now. I have to fix it, so I will fix it.
Cool.
For free for you. It's free for you.
Hey guys, I pasted in a link for an issue I think we might go over.
No, let's close it.
Well, actually, it's already active, this status.
Oh.
The problem is that there's an issue with the content and widget wrapper, because if the page is cast and you're
I
signed
think
in.
we agreed on that, and I suggested the implementation during a meeting actually. We just say we will add a checkbox and a warning. Check that if you know what you are doing.
Yeah, but then if you do this and you have widget wrappers and content wrappers enabled, that will be part of the output as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that's fine?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes, that's fine. If you don't want something to be cached, then it's up to you not to render it as part of the page, but use delayed loading.
Okay, that makes sense. That means because this thing is fine. My concern is the work item that there's. If you go to the comments, I think there's a link. Oh wait, let me. Yeah, if you look at my comments down below, a little bit up. Where's my comment? Oh, you already clicked on it. Don't cache with control. So we can close this issue then.
This one?
Yeah, this one. The 3 votes.
If you tell me to close, I'm closing.
Because I don't really like this implementation. It's too specific, and what you just said, we don't need it. It's the responsibility of the user.
Yeah, to not render anything that is private or user-based. You just issue a new JavaScript request and that's it.
Okay, perfect. So we can accept this issue, incorporate this issue to patch. Just use a checkbox to also cast authenticated requests, and then it's up to the user to be clever about it. In terms of, using injecting things that he doesn't want cast.
Like the dashboard link.
Yeah, for example. Yeah, which could be easily done using the HX widgets module.
Or do you want a cache per user too, optionally?
I don't know. For certain websites that might make sense. But if you have a site with a lot of concurrent users that are logged in, then...
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
So first just do a checkbox, okay.
Yeah. We already have the implementation here.
Active 18x cache. I will not put it in 18x.
No need to.
Okay. I can't see the end of the line. Display text. Okay. Everyone is here?
We're here.
1.x or 1.8?
I don't care about 1.8, but
It's a new feature.
then it should be 1x.
It's not breaking.
but we did say no new features for 1.8, just fixes and then performance improvements.
Okay, unless I do the push already. Okay. So, new solution, change publish later to not render shape to container, display identification and content type editor, blah blah blah, and undo all other changes. So now the changes are still there.
Stanley, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh no, this is a warning. Content type as a publish later part and isn't marked draftable.
What did I miss? What did we say?
Blog post admin controller. Okay. Here content type will be always blog post, I assume.
Yeah, that much is true.
It's copy paste, we call it.
Well, eventually a blog post doesn't have to be of type blog post.
As
We could
post and
blog post.
I could see what you mean, but
Yeah, for example, I have a normal blog post,
or what? Another blog post?
yeah, another type of blog post which has additional parts. There was a use case a long time ago that I could use, but actually I didn't want that to be a blog post.
In list, maybe, but not in blogs. Blogs
Yeah.
will be blog posts. Even if you have two blogs, one for news and one for blog and one for whatever, there will be blog post types.
I'll think about it.
Yeah. Also, yeah, that's fine. I'm not sure when we write the parts, we put spaces in the publish later part. 3 words. Is draftable. This is the same thing.
I remember I wanted to reuse the blocks module for writing different types of content, for example, tutorials or documentation. But then we came up with the lists module and we're using that. So you're right, we don't, for blog post that can remain blog post. If you want something else, you will create a custom type, but not use the post part, blog post part. Because now you can have different.
I think this is wrong. I think this is wrong. This should just be in the driver. The editor of the driver should render the message.
You mean the notification?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the first editor method without the updater.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you have this code, here, done. And you don't render anything like you do, yeah, this is the correct way.
Do you agree, Stanley?
I'm sorry, I'm behind. I have work distracts me at the same
Okay,
time.
so everything you wrote in the controllers, you can delete it and move it once in the driver here.
Did I really not think about that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, that makes definitely a lot more sense. I don't know why I didn't notice that myself.
And this is good. Cool, cool. Okay, bugs or PRs? Zoltan, you're the boss.
I would suggest bugs this time.
Okay. All once.
Yeah. Very old ones are there.
Yeah, you see that bug, get rid of TypeScript files?
Nope. December 6. Okay. Taxonomy display bug. First thing I do when I open a bug is look at who reported it. If it's Zoltan, okay, I usually think it might be a real bug. If it's Christian, I'm like, fuck, it will take 1 hour to understand what the bug is. Sorry, Christian. I don't say it's not a valid bug. It's like crazy bugs. And there will be 100 comments on the bugs. And we have to move to 4.5.1 to fix the bug. You agree?
He's going to Umbraco.
Yeah. Good luck. So I created. A custom form. I already see the issue. Blah 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 blah. Yes, close. Agree? So he's saying that when you create a custom form using a taxonomy field, it doesn't work. And I will say by design. I'm so mean.
By design, why? Why shouldn't it work on the front end?
Because the fields are not supposed to work. Sorry, all the fields. All the fields are supposed to work on the front end. You might want to create interfere interfere.
So doesn't this then maybe expose a small design flaw in custom forms?
And now he wants auto completion because we have it in the admin, and now he wants required, and we have custom code, and yeah, it can work. It cannot work. The other solution is to provide a custom template for the field in your theme. This is too complex. You can't have fields which will work perfectly on the back end and on the front end. You need customization. It will work with most of them, like the text, like the radio button, and still it will be ugly on the front end, you know that, if you use so it's always specific. Even if you use a text box and use Bootstrap, then you will want custom styles to your text box.
Yep.
So you will create a custom template for the custom forms. This is why you are here, Sipke, to fix that. So,
Yeah, I have a solution, but it will be done next week maybe.
yeah, you said that last week. Image editor crop presets filter presets not working in Azure due to security. No, it has been fixed. I fixed it. Okay. Blah blah fixed. I fixed it because I used Orchard once. Media library rendering problem. I see list of folders shown in the attached. Should the area listing the folder be stretched along the entire page? Fixed by Stanley or Benjamin, I can't remember. Maybe in 181. Yes, 181. Triaging is easy today. Unable to upgrade modules with the shift. Okay. Oh, triage today, awesome.
Should we get rid of the experimental module maybe?
We got rid of that.
Oh, we already got rid of it.
Yeah, but I reintroduced it in 1.x. Part of it.
Huh.
I think so, in one. Maybe in 1.x.
So maybe it can be part of the solution, but it should not be there in the gallery.
The above module doesn't compile your journal. Oh, close the issue. We don't support this module. It has been removed. Closed. Is not an issue. Ooh, long discussions. Okay. Another suggestion to minimize database growth. This is wrong. Tell me if it's wrong when I say stupid things, but when you hit save and there is already a draft, it's just updating the draft.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not creating new drafts. It only creates new version records if you publish. So just don't publish if you don't want to create unnecessary version records, I suppose.
And it's saying update latest version. So if it's the case, then if you don't make it draftable.
Right, yeah, because then you'll always create published version.
So if you don't have it draftable, it will still create new records.
Yeah.
No, that's not the solution. The solution is to have a pruning feature to remove the old records.
Pruning, cleanup.
Yes. Okay. Okay. There is no memory leak. Even I would not have made the mistake. In Orchard.
Leek, isn't that a vegetable?
Yes, this is. You should know. You are a veggie.
Yeah, sounds familiar. It would make sense that it grows in an orchard.
Each command allocates. Yeah.
Pun of the day.
What are you saying? I checked on the web. He didn't know. You know, Eastern name. They don't know how to write leak. Hungary. When.
We speak perfect English.
Yep. With Benedek only. Okay, let's see the patch, because maybe he fixed our issues before we did. Is disposing the work context scope. Look at that, Zoltan. He's creating a standalone environment. And at the end, he's disposing it. Are you impressed?
That's the right way to do it.
Yep. Okay. I will just open it just to look at it. And I will assign Zoltan. Oh, Piedon, sorry. Fuck names.
Yeah, I really like memory leaks.
Opening it for two reasons. because maybe there's a solution, and because this is the same guy who found the fix for the dispose. Not because Christian said that it's related to the other one. Microsoft data data version issue at the blah 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 blah. Okay, let's update the libraries if they are necessary. What does this guy mean? Yep. Using Word. Man, what's he doing? Oh, okay. Okay. Different API call. Good.
But blog posts don't support categories, or
They do.
are you gonna save it as tags?
Yes, that's what I say. Use tags. This
Okay.
is what we do in Live Writer. Well, in Live, no, this is different actually. I'm Live Writer. There are some tags and categories. Yep, categories are predefined values. Tags are free values, open values. Okay. Good for today. Good job, guys. Especially myself.
Good job, Sebastian.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Stanley. You don't smile, but okay. Great, great, great. So see you on Tuesday. Anything to add before we leave?
Nothing from my end. Well done.
Thank you. Some good to goes to add. I will do it soon. Thank you, guys. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.